What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jacob Katzanik here, back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. It is now Michigan Week, Tuesday, October 21st. And it's going to be a real interesting week now for more than one reason. I mean, obviously you have the big storylines, the battle for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. It's the biggest game on the schedule every year for Michigan State fans, for the football team, really regardless of sport. You look whenever a season schedule comes out for Michigan State, you look at where's Michigan? When do they play Michigan? Well, the week is here, October 25th. It's going to be a 7:30 kickoff on NBC, so it'll be nationally televised as well. Plenty of eyeballs will be on this game. Maybe could be the most viewed game for Michigan State on the season, so a big time opportunity for, again, season hasn't gone the way people hoped for or thought it would maybe go. 0-4 in Big Ten play. None of the games have been that close, all of them by double digits. But this is a chance to turn things around. There's people out there, as long as you beat Michigan, it can be a successful season. Doesn't really matter what you do the rest of the way. Not necessarily a sentiment I entirely agree with, but it's certainly that's part of the legacy of a team. If you go 11-1, in the one losses to Michigan, it's always going to be but when it's a team that's not 11-1 caliber, if you get Michigan, it's like the record's not great, but they beat Michigan. It's like kind of like that COVID year. Like they weren't good, but they beat Michigan. It doesn't matter how good or bad Michigan is. They're kind of average as far as Michigan standards are. This year, 5-2, 3-1 in Big Ten play. Just squeaked into the AP poll at number 25. Don't know how they're ranked above USC, given that USC beat them. But still, in the AP poll, it'll be a ranked opponent. For Jonathan Smith, try to get his first ranked win as Michigan State's head coach. But on Monday, Jonathan Smith had his per usual, weekly press conference. And for his standards, he was juiced up. I'll give him that. He didn't go in there and start hammering the desk about it's Michigan week, it's Michigan week, it's Michigan week. But you could kind of see it in just his expression, his demeanor, and the way, just a little slightly different way he was talking, that he knows what this week is. He knows this. I don't know if I'm not going to say like he knows this could be his last chance to really get people back on his side, per se, as a coach. But if he were to win this game, that could probably be enough to buy him another year at Michigan State. If it goes poorly, could be it. I don't know if they'd fire him after the Michigan game. I don't know if you want to give Michigan that satisfaction of being the ones who did it. They go to Minnesota next week. There's a bye week after that. That's one thing. If they lose both these games, I would certainly keep an eye on the following day for just in case. But this is what college football is about. Jonathan Smith recognized it. He said it was like it's the number one topic that comes up when he's like interacting with fans at when he's talking with people at fundraisers and stuff like that. It's how do you beat Michigan? The Michigan rivalry, and he seems to has a better grasp on it than he did last year. He's not going out there dropping Mark D'Antonio quotes of "it'll never be over," or saying like "I hate Michigan with all my heart." But like you can tell, like he knows. I think he knows better since he's been able to experience it firsthand what this game means to the fan base, to the players, and to everyone all around about how important it is. Because it is. It's vital. It's vitally important. It's one of those stats that every coach has in their for their tenure at Michigan State. How did you do against Michigan? It's part of the reason why Mark D'Antonio is always going to be so fondly remembered at Michigan State, is that he had a winning record against Michigan. He helped turn that rivalry around. He was the first coach who really had Michigan State with a grip on the rivalry and the Paul Bunyan Trophy since I think it was the 1960s, 1950s, when after I think Mike Hart dropped the little brother quote, I think Michigan State won 6 of the next 7 meetings, if I'm not mistaken. Could be a little off on that one. But Michigan has kind of gotten it back, though, since Jim Harbaugh arrived. It's not like since trouble at the snap happened in 2015. After from 2016 on, Michigan's 6-3. Is anyone at Michigan State going to be happy with a 2-to-1 ratio? No. You got to win the game more than a third of the time. But that's how it's been over the last 9 years. Michigan is the favorite in this one. There's no going about it. Would I take Michigan State to win this game right now? No, I don't think I'm going to pick Michigan State to win this game, barring any unforeseen changes on like the injury front or anything. But again, they play the games. This is a big chance, for Jonathan Smith to turn the course of this season around. I think I like the way they played, at least effort-wise, against Indiana. You could see the fight was there. It was a lot better than it was against UCLA. I'll tell you that much. But it was, to some levels, just they ran into a much, much better team. It was like that Elijah Surratt touchdown he had. It was like a perfect throw from Mendoza. It was like on the one down the sideline. I think Surratt had 2 touchdowns. It's like a perfect throw down the sideline. And Aiden West had pretty good coverage on it, but Surratt makes a great catch. Like, it was just like, okay, that's Indiana's really good. Michigan, that's not a throw. That's not a play I think Michigan executes very often. Plays like that. Like Bryce Underwood, I think is going to be a really, really good quarterback 2 years' time. Maybe next year, 2 years' time. But right now, I mean, he's still playing well. He's still a pretty good quarterback, especially from true freshman standards. But he's not Fernando Mendoza yet. And Michigan doesn't have the wide receivers, at least the top 2 wide receivers, that Indiana does. Donovan McCulley's been looking pretty good for them. They have their own Andrew Marsh. He's been pretty solid, especially as the season has progressed for the Wolverines. But they're not Indiana. Indiana is Indiana. It's still weird to say that Michigan is not Indiana. I think at one point Michigan beat Indiana like 20-something straight times. But Michigan is not Indiana. Indiana is number 2 in the country. Indiana is a bona fide now, is a true national title contender. Michigan is not going to win the national title this season. I think I'm comfortable saying that. Indiana could win the national title. Michigan's still good. Tough opponent. But it's a lot more plausible to see Michigan State beating them than beating Indiana. So I think the game plan was decent in Indiana. I just didn't think they executed it perfectly. They executed it fine, especially offensively, for about a quarter and a half. First 2 drives were 7 minutes and 8 minutes, and then they couldn't really hold on to the ball. And then defensively, it was about as brutal as it gets. 5 straight touchdowns to start the day for Indiana's offense. I think they only had 7 real possessions and scored on 6 of them. Not going to be good enough there. But again, Michigan's offense isn't necessarily Indiana's. I think they're going to be down their left tackle, Evan Link. He's hurt. So I think they have Blake Frazier stepping in for him. Michigan State's also without Stanton Romeo. It doesn't look like we'll see. I don't think Smith said either way about any injuries, if they'll be able to come back, if any guys are going to come off the injury report and into the game for Michigan State here this week. I don't think he's going to give that away, especially given the opponent. But still, Michigan is without their left tackle. It would be a great time for Michigan State's pass rush to come alive again. I don't think they got to Mendoza at all, really. Again, they have a really good offensive line at Indiana, too. It's part of the reason they're so successful. Indiana's left tackle, Carter Smith, is one of the best in America. Yeah, no sacks from Michigan State against Indiana. Only 3 tackles for loss. You got to find a way to win, at least hang around in the trenches against Michigan, because they're going to want to run the ball. It's Michigan. That goes without saying, but they have Justice Haynes, who's one of the best running backs in America right now. I think he missed their game against Washington. I need to go watch that. But I think he's probably expected to come back from an injury there against Michigan State. And Michigan State, not great against the run, 132 yards, 4.7 a carry for the Spartans in that one against Indiana. But, I mean, pretty average on the run game department. But, again, it was through the air. That's the real big concern. But defense really needs to step up in this game. Offense, you can't put up. The offense was better against Indiana. 367 yards against Indiana is pretty good. But again, I said this the other day. The point of football is not to get as many yards as possible. It's to score some points. 13 points is not going to do it in the Big Ten, unless you're playing maybe Iowa. You gotta get the Iowa jokes in there. Iowa's still looking pretty good. That's gonna be another game that's gonna be tough for Michigan State down in the future. But again, it's about Michigan now. Can Michigan State win this game? Yes. There's a path to victory for Michigan State here in this one. Smith knows that. At least I think so. The team definitely needs to know that. And it's a chance to, again, change the discussion. Have people like me speak a little more positively about the direction of the program and everything around it. If you beat Michigan, I can't imagine I think, frankly, if Jonathan Smith's going to get a year 3, probably not right now. If he beats Michigan, you can't fire a coach after he beats Michigan. I'd have to think so, unless something really weird happens, that I can't really predict at the moment. But still, we'll continue to provide coverage of this game and every game the rest of this season on your Michigan State Spartans here on SI. Keep checking out here and at SpartanNation.com. Thank you for listening or watching, however you are viewing this podcast right now, and I'll see you guys around.